Here are some of my thoughts on Dr. Jordan Peterson. I've investigated him very heavily this year. I've heard a good portion of his podcasts, his YouTube videos, his interviews with journalists, his debates with Sam Harris, as well as read his recent book, 12 Rules for Life, An Antidote to Chaos. So my thoughts on him have been percolating for some time. I've learned a number of interesting life lessons from listening to him. He says to always assume that the person you're speaking with can teach you something that you don't know. This is a very humbling and open stance to take when having a discussion with someone, and is the opposite of being an ideologue, who he describes as a person who is certain that their current level of knowledge on a given topic is sufficient, and will resist updating their knowledge in the face of new evidence in order to protect their worldview. Upon having this explained to me, I realized that I knew multiple ideologues, and that I myself have acted as an ideologue in certain instances. Dr. Peterson speaks of having a pursuit of meaning in your life instead of a pursuit of happiness, because happiness is fleeting, and only by orienting yourself towards meaning can you find contentment, even while traversing the darkest depths of personal crisis or tragedy. He speaks of the balance between order and chaos, how order is structure and tradition, and chaos is the unexpected events or ideas that push you to update your structure and traditions. His description of liberalism versus conservatism is based on this idea that the tension between the left and right is necessary for a well-functioning society, because society needs structure and traditions in order to provide stability, and society also needs the capacity to oppose and potentially update those structures and traditions in the face of the constant flux of new information and challenges. And this is how progress is achieved. So both order and chaos are necessary for the survival of society. I have more mixed feelings on Dr. Peterson's views on religion. He seems to tout the importance of the Judeo-Christian tradition while simultaneously holding an agnostic view on God. When asked if he believes in God, he more or less dodges the question by describing a belief in truth, or as he puts it, logos, that essentially God is the transformative power of speaking truth in order to bring order to chaos. He points out that this is the sophisticated argument put forth by the Bible, that the Word that was with God and was God was the power of spoken truth, and that Jesus Christ was the physical personification of the Word. He describes this deep truth of the Bible as having great power, sophistication, and relevance, but he falls short of claiming a belief in a metaphysical God. He speaks of prayer in terms of asking God for an answer and waiting for an answer to come, and that hard truth may be delivered to your mind from an unknown source. But he doesn't seem willing to totally rule out that source can be explained in purely psychological terms. It's hard to understand if he truly believes in a traditional God, or just that God is a higher part of ourselves. Who knows? Maybe he's still trying to work it out himself. On the matter of identity politics, Dr. Peterson has been delivering a message that I find very enlightening. He speaks of the danger posed by identity politics in devolving society into an us versus them dynamic, how it is related to intersectionality and Marxism, and how we need to learn from the lessons of the 20th century in order to not repeat the atrocities that were delivered to us by the hands of Stalin and Hitler. He describes how identity politics leads to tribalism, violence, and murder, and how the powerful message delivered to us by the Judeo-Christian tradition of the sovereignty of man is at risk by this dangerous ideology. So, In summary, Dr. Jordan Peterson is human, he is imperfect, he is fallible. However, he is proving himself to be one of the most insightful individuals of our time. I encourage you to also investigate him. Listen with an open mind and learn a few things. Don't worry about not agreeing with everything he says, because that's not what's important. What is important is that you approach his work with the attitude that you may learn something deep and fundamental about yourself and society. Good work, Dr. Peterson. And that's it. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you next time.